Okay.
Hey everyone! Alright, Saman, I have a challenge for you. I'm going to throw a word at you and I want you to come up with the corresponding word that comes to your mind. The first thing that comes to your mind, okay?
Okay.
Civic engagement.
Ouch! I thought this would be a fun game.
It is. Come on, tell me,
Civic
what comes to your mind?
engagement.
Civic engagement.
Civic engagement. What's coming to my mind is the high school civics class right at this point.
Think, it's what's happening in October. It's
Voting. Voting.
yes.
Voting is a civic engagement.
Something else. Come on, there are far more examples.
Would tax.
Yes.
Paying
absolutely.
taxes?
Yes, taxes.
Okay.
More?
Seriously?
Yeah, think. Come on. Think.
Think.
That's it.
Well, clearly you know more. You keep on tapping your fingers.
Well, and that's the thing. The last week, my husband and I, we went for casting of votes, and there were other people who were there doing their civic duty, and then we just started talking about how we have limited our civic engagement just to casting votes, paying taxes. That's great, but that's about it. And we think that's our duty, and we are done and over with it. There's a lot more that comes in civic engagement than that.
Is there? What do you think?
See, civic engagement would be what we as individuals or as groups, when we are concerned about something, or when we engage in activity that upholds public values, that is a part of civic engagement. So if we are making an effort to preserve public values, to do something which concerns public, that is all a part of civic engagement. So it would also include things like we've talked about it earlier in our akhlaq topic, where we talked about cleaning up your neighborhood, doing a drive for that, putting up a stop sign in front of your house. In fact, I have a friend who actually did petition, and she got signatures and she wrote to the local MPPs, and she got a stop sign in front of her house because it is right opposite the park, and kids were running across the road and the cars would not stop, or they had to slam the brakes, so might as well have a stop sign there. So these are all parts of civic engagements.
So you're basically saying that doing something that would be for the common good of the society.
Yes, absolutely. For the community, yes.
So would you say that, you know how I often come and I'm like, oh, I hate this is happening in school, or they don't have this, or the new library that's built is very small, why did they share the plan or whatever. So would you say that being part of parent council, because that's one way of voicing your opinion, right?
Yes.
And would be part of civic engagement?
Absolutely, it will be. If you just sit and complain about it and not do nothing, like friends sit friends sit and we just keep complaining and cribbing, that's not civic engagement. You have to make the effort. You have to do something. The action.
So you have to look past being aware of it, past the awareness point. You have to take a step.
Yes, you have to take the step.
Okay, and so I get taxes, voting, civic engagement, as far as volunteering. How would one get civically engaged in our small little town?
There are tons of examples. Like you just mentioned your library, right? The new library that opened up.
Yeah, it's tiny.
And you said it's tiny, and you felt that there was.
I feel like, obviously I'm not an engineer, and neither am I budgeting it, but I feel like they could have used the space in a better way, more efficiently, and maybe build a slightly bigger library,
Yeah, but. And I'm very certain about this, that before they actually put those plans into work, there must have been a town meeting where they asked for public suggestions, opinions that we somehow missed.
Yeah, do you see those whiteboards where they're about to have a new construction? There's a whiteboard that says there's this.
The notice, and
there's such and such meeting about
this. And we tend to, and this is a small town, so we tend to miss out on those things. But then, if we want, we can stay aware too. I mean, the choice is at the end of the day, it's our choice.
And for somebody
you can log on to the website, you can keep checking, because they would never build such a big site without public consultation.
So I guess for somebody like me, and I'm sure there's a million other people like that, who have an opinion about everything, I guess people like us should really attend these meetings and voice our opinion and our concern and our ideas and suggestions. You never know
Yes.
how they might, because you know what happens. I have noticed often. For example, when you go talk to the school principal, vice principal, whoever, they'll be like, "Well, we don't know what you're concerned about because no one voiced their opinion." But when I'm talking out to the moms are like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, you know, this happened or this shouldn't have happened," and da, da, da. And I feel like there's so many people. Why aren't things changing? But I guess because that so many people are spending time bickering about it or complaining about it, but they haven't actually looked up how to take a step, how to make the change. You know,
Exactly. And also that so many people were waiting for somebody else to go and speak on their behalf, or somebody else to go and, because sometimes when all of us see that there's a problem with something, you think, oh, that person will go and speak, somebody else will go and speak, because I'm sure everybody has a problem with it. Why should I go? Somebody else will go and do the needful. And the thing is, nobody goes then. So if you want something changed, you have to make the effort, and it's something that you have to start from the ground level up, and you have to start making those changes from you have to start make the effort for it.
This is definitely something that needs that comes under, you know, raising the bar. Like, let's
Yes.
raise the
Yes,
bar
we need to.
for civic engagement, because it's really important that we do that. Otherwise, our kids won't really know how to take care of their community, how to be a part of their community, how to influence their community. I think we have a tendency of leaving everything to the elected officials or the people in charge and be like, you know, well, they didn't do this right. They can't know what to do because they're just humans like us. You know,
Yes.
They have to hear the
We
public
have to
opinion.
give them the feedback. Also, the kids, yes, they say that we have to take care of the community, but by being civically engaged, we're also teaching them the process of it. We're teaching them how to go about it. Now, yesterday, my older one, who's in grade 5, came home and she told me that the kids, the grade 5s in her school, they decided that the recess wasn't long enough, which I think the teachers wouldn't agree with, and they wanted to put forth the point. So they took a protest rally across the school, and where they demanded, they put forth
More
their
recess,
demands.
more recess.
Yes, we want longer recess, and they put forth their ideas to the principal and the teachers in charge and whatnot, and which I thought was very funny and cute and all. But I also appreciated the fact that these were grade 5 students who were not being told to do anything. It's something that they felt that they want this thing, so how do we go about it? They all got together, they took out and it's a tiny school, so they just walked across the corridor saying, we want longer recess, we want to do this. So they knew how to go about it. If there's a problem, you need to do something, and this is how we can get our voices heard.
But that's the thing, right? I think the kids learn it at school.
Yes.
And then but they don't see their parents doing it. And what happens is, by the time these kids are older, out of, if like 10 kids were learning this, maybe 1 or 2 know actually how to carry it on.
Yes.
And I think that's where we lack as a community. Some of us are lazy to look for the appropriate steps to take in order to become a part of the community, in order to voice our opinions, in order to change things. And we're lazy because we get caught up with the daily, you know, social lives, busy lives, cooking, tasks, whatever, teaching, job, work. And so I think we just become lazy because, for example, the student council meeting happens, maybe once a month, depending on what school you are. Sometimes it happens once in 3 months. And I know I can go, I can arrange for my kids to be picked up from martial arts, but I kind of okay, you know what, I have to go home and give the kids food and forget it.
Who's gonna go?
But yeah, who's going to go? Although I want to go, I do. I really want to be there. And yeah, I mean, now I kind of feel guilty because, hey, I was complaining, but wasn't there to change
I'm
it.
guilty of that too, because even I don't go for those meetings, which and I want to do that because if I have some concerns, I have to raise the point. Now, another thing that you talked about was, sometimes we feel that the kids are protesting in a group, or there are climate change marches happening and stuff like that, and we feel that we can only bring about a change if we are in a group, which is not true. Civic engagement can also be it can also be done as an individual. You just have to have the the desire to do it and put in the effort for that. So sometimes it's like small flutter here can create the butterfly effect somewhere else.
Yeah, the group has to start somewhere with
yes,
one person.
it does with an individual. So to think that what can I do? I don't need to do that. No, sometimes there's just a single mom with her kids trying to do something for the community. She's planting a. I've seen. Have you seen those community libraries where people set up those small, tiny structures where they keep their used books, and it's an open library. People can come, take a book, and they can leave it there when they're done reading. These are all efforts made by individuals that grow, and I've seen those libraries grow over a period of time. So
we actually have a book nook in our town. Where I started by an individual. It's a book nook. You can just come and take a book you like to read, and
I don't know if it's the same one. I've seen one on one of the streets, but anyway. So that's the thing. You can, as an individual, can make a difference. You don't have to be in a group. You just have to have desire and do the action for it.
So the task for me today is to find out what is bothering me these days.
Yes.
Obviously, I have something new bothering me every day. Yes. And really look for the steps to change it. Whether it be going to the town hall meeting, whether it be attending any of these debates, since the election is right.
Just find a way of how we can raise the bar on our civic engagement in our town, in our societies, in our communities. Could be as simple as volunteering. Could be answering the call for the jury duty that we all try to run away from, and or could be the election debates or whatever it is.
Could be something as simple as just volunteering for something.
Yes, volunteering, or
it's all about what matters to you.
What
are you concerned about?
If the school is bothering you, if the parent council is where you want to go to make your voice heard, go and do that. That's how we can raise the bar. Do one thing that is concerning you and go ahead and do something to rectify that problem.
Okay, so not all of us can, and not one person cannot change everything.
You cannot change everything. You cannot.
But everyone can do their bit.
Yes,
and that's how a community grows and forms, right?
And flourishes. Yes. So do let us know if you are concerned about something that you want to improve, and how are you going about it, and how do you stay civically engaged?
Yeah, maybe you can help us out be better.
Yes, we would love that. Until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.